Hi guys, welcome back to Codicast. So for today's video, I will be reviewing this model. So what I got here right now is a Mini GT Nissan GTR NISMO GT3, the number 23 from the KCMG team from the 2018 FIA GT World Cup Macau. So yeah, this Mini GT has been released for quite some time right now, and I have just had the time to review this model right now. And the reason that I bought this model is because, well, the first thing is that the livery itself is pretty catchy. It has this white paint base with the red and green color that is very iconic to a certain livery, which we are going to talk about later. But yeah, the reason is that, well, first is that the livery itself, and then if you see right there, we have the Matsuda. It is the Nismo racer from the Super GT series. Like, I've already reviewed his car, the Super GT 500 Nissan GTR Nismo, the Moto version. And previously on 2018, he raced for the KCMG team in Macau, which if I'm not mistaken, it was his first race too in Macau. And he used the GT3 NISMO GTR at the race in this livery. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to see about this model because it has so much history. For the livery itself, it is a tribute livery, and then the driver itself is a Nismo drivers from the Super GT series in Japan. So yeah, I think I'm going to talk about the packaging first. So the packaging itself is pretty much the same as other Mini GT, and we got the artwork right here at the front with the Mini GT logo and the model name right here, which I've already read earlier, and then the model's number 593 with the social media of Mini GT, and then the underside is pretty much nothing important, and then on the back obviously we have the Nissan's license, and obviously has the sticker, the hologram sticker from TSI model, and this is the model barcode if you want to read. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it about the packaging. And now let's open the model and let's take a closer look on the model, because this is a pretty interesting one. So yeah, before I get into the details of this model, I would like to show you where is this livery came from. So if you watch my review right here, the Pop Race R32 GTR from the JGTC, yeah, it was no, sorry, I've kind of mixed a bit. So yeah, this is the same race from the R35. So this is from the 1990s Macau Grand Prix series, and this car is the winner of that race at that year in 1990s. So yeah, it's pretty iconic livery too from the Macau race. And then in 2018, Nissan, through the KCMG team right here, put the livery back on the track with the Nismo GTR R35 right here, GT3, with the same kind of like homage livery with the green and the red and the white base paint. But there is no Castrol livery right now because maybe they don't support the race car anymore, and they put the KCMG sponsors instead, and they asked the Matsuda drivers from Super GT to race their car in the Macau 2018. So yeah, that is pretty interesting story about this car. And now let's talk about the details starting from the front. So the GTR GT3 from the Mini GT, I think they have a pretty decent casting. It is one of my favorite R35 GTR casting from Mini GT because this is a really nice model. Let's talk about starting from the front. The headlights itself, it has a pretty much detailed on the inner housing of the headlights with the silver housing and the LED running lights on the outer side of the plastic. And then obviously we have some sponsors at the front, Pirelli, KCMG, the Nismo, and then from the grille you could see that we have a slightly abstract GTR logo with the NISMO, because they printed it on the plastic with the perforated for the grill. So yeah, it doesn't really show that much the GTR itself because there is no photo etch decals on it, which is such a shame. And then obviously we had the front splitter with the red accent, and then the front canards, which is pretty cool. It's pretty detailed. And then moving on to the side, so yeah, again, this is a kind of like a tribute or an homage livery to the actual 1990s Macau Grand Prix winner, the R32 GTR Group A. And yeah, the livery itself is pretty nice, if you could see that. It has this bright green and red color. And then for the side, again, you could see that we have the sponsors, the KCMG, the GTR logo right here for the side fender. And then the number 23, the race car number, which also one of like most Nissan number, because 23 in Japanese is called Nissan. So yeah, that is one of the Nissan number. And then we got the Matsuda name right here on the side window for the drivers. We got the NISMO again, and then the Motul, and this is the side exhaust on the left side of the car. And then for the wheels, again, this is a mini GT, so they are focusing on the rolling wheels with no disc brakes and whatsoever. But yeah, unfortunately, we didn't have any tire printing on here, which is pretty such a shame, because the newer mini GT model have the tire printed on some Pirelli or like other sponsors. And yeah, moving on to the back, you could see that another KCMG sponsor, the NISMO, the GTR, the GT3, and the Nissan logo right here at the center. And all of them is not a photo etch or a metal etch decal, which is unfortunate. And then for the tail lights right here, we have a plastic insert, the same as the front, which is pretty cool. And then for the wing, it's pretty sturdy, it's pretty firm, it doesn't move. And then the KCMG on the spoiler with the red and the green color for the homage livery again, with a little bit of details right here, the Nissan NISMO, KCMG, the GT3. And then for the top, now unfortunately when I bought this model, it came with this kind of like defects, kind of like the paint is a little bit smudged right here on the red side and the green side of this part, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't really seen on afar like this, but if you look closely then you can see that. But yeah, again on the A pillar you could see the website of the KCMG, the sponsors, and then the windshield number 23 Pirelli. This is I think this is the sponsors again, and yeah, some other things. And for the interior, obviously Mini GT just a plain black plastic, especially for this race car. And for the side mirrors, it is a rubber side mirrors. So yeah, that is pretty much it about this model. For the underside, yeah, as you expected from a race car, it is mostly flat with no details on the undercarriage, because for aerodynamics and whatsoever. And then we have the 2023 Nissan GTR NISMO GT3, use other license, printed on the base with the Mini GT and made in China embossed on it. And so yeah, I think that is pretty much it about this model. So this is the Nissan GTR NISMO GT3 number 23, the KCMG from the 2018 FIA GT World Cup Macau, with the tribute livery to the actual race car from the 1990s, the Nissan GTR R32 Group A, the Macau Grand Prix winner. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it about this model, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.